Ever get this like almost unsettling feeling that there's this massive new economy kind of bubbling up and we're all just woefully behind?
Yeah, it can feel like that, can it?
I mean, this AI-driven digital economy everyone's buzzing about, it's projected to be worth, what, over $20 trillion by 2030?
The numbers are definitely eye-catching.
Wild, right?
But honestly, what I find even more fascinating is that this isn't just another Silicon Valley game, you know? It's not just for the tech giant.
Right.
This AI ways, it's creating opportunities for, well, anyone, really. We're talking wealth-building tools and strategies that were practically science fiction not too long ago.
Okay, so you send over this article, Future of Wealth, Making Millions in the AI-Driven Digital Economy. And I gotta say, it's a pretty compelling read.
It gets you thinking, doesn't it?
It does. AI automating investments, like actually doing the work for you. And then this whole concept of passive income streams, almost like money-making machines running on autopilot.
It's definitely a shift.
It is.
We're moving away from those traditional wealth-building models, you know, stocks, real estate. The digital world is opening up new avenues, and AI is making them surprisingly accessible. It doesn't matter where you come from or what your background is.
One thing that really struck me was the sheer scale of growth they highlight in the article.
Yeah.
Like the cryptocurrency market, I think it hit a $1 trillion valuation last year.
Yeah, it did.
Crazy.
And then you've got the NFT space, those non-fungible tokens. Over $40 billion worth of those were sold just last year. And that's just art, right? There's so much more to NFTs.
Exactly. But even beyond those kind of, I guess, flashier assets, it's the small business boom that's really impressive. So many businesses moving online, using AI to reach a global audience.
I think by 2025, something like 80% of small businesses will be operating online.
Wow. Okay, so for someone listening in, trying to wrap their head around all of this, what's the big takeaway here? It seems like this digital economy is reshaping how we think about wealth, about opportunity.
I think that's a really good way to put it. It's reshaping the landscape, offering more options, more flexibility. It's exciting.
It is exciting. But I think it's easy to get caught up in the hype, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Where's the real potential, the tangible benefit for the everyday person?
Well, the real power of the AI-driven economy, at least in my view, is that it puts the individual in the driver's seat. AI becomes your partner, your ally in building wealth. It can automate tasks, optimize your strategies, create those income streams we talked about. It's powerful stuff.
I love that AI is your personal wealth-building sidekick.
Exactly. And the article really dives deep into two areas where this is already happening.
Oh, yeah.
First, there's AI-driven investing. You've got these robo-advisors like Betterment, Wealthfront. They're really leading the charge there.
Okay, so I've heard of those, but honestly, I've always been a little intimidated by investing. Seems complicated.
Well, that's the thing. These platforms take the complexity out of it. They use AI to analyze market data in ways that, honestly, no human could. They're processing huge amounts of information, spotting those subtle trends, and making adjustments in real time.
So it's like having this super smart financial advisor working for you 24/7.
That's a great way to think about it. And there's a robo-advisor out there for just about any goal you can think of, whether you're looking for long-term growth, maybe with Betterment, or you're just starting out investing your spare change through Acorns, or maybe you're looking for strategies designed for women. There's Ellevest for that. The options are pretty amazing.
That accessibility is huge, right?
It is.
It used to feel like investing was this exclusive club for Wall Street types.
Right, but AI is breaking those barriers down. It's democratizing access to these sophisticated financial tools, and that's really exciting.
Okay, so now let's talk about something that's always been a bit of a fantasy for me, this idea of passive income.
Ah, the dream, right?
The dream. Making money while you sleep, while you travel, while you're doing whatever you love. Is AI actually making that a possibility?
It's getting us closer, that's for sure. The key is automation. AI can handle so many of those tasks that used to eat up all your time.
So what? Give me an example.
Well, imagine building a business that practically runs in the background. You're free to pursue other things, and the income keeps coming in.
I mean, that sounds amazing, but how?
The article highlights some really cool tools that are making this possible. You've got AI that can write blog posts, social media content, things like Jasper and ChatGPT. You give it the basic idea and it takes over, crafting this high-quality, engaging content for your online presence.
No way.
Yeah.
So I don't have to spend hours agonizing over blog posts anymore.
Exactly. And it gets even wilder. There are AI-powered video creation tools like Synthesia. You can actually create entire videos using these incredibly lifelike avatars.
So I could have a YouTube channel without ever being on camera.
You could. That's the point. AI is opening up these new pathways. You can share your message, build a business, all without needing to be in the spotlight if that's not your thing.
That's a game changer. Okay, this is all incredibly fascinating, but I feel like we need to talk about the foundation of all of this, those digital assets everyone's buzzing about.
You're talking about the new frontier of wealth, the digital assets. They're reshaping how we think about ownership, about investment, and they're playing a bigger and bigger role in this whole digital economy.
Right. So the article highlights three key types, right?
Yep.
Cryptocurrency, NFTs, and virtual real estate.
Those are the big ones.
Okay, so let's start with cryptocurrency. I mean, everyone's heard of Bitcoin, Ethereum.
Yeah.
But where does AI fit into all of that?
Well, beyond those big names, there's a whole universe of altcoins and DeFi tokens, these decentralized currencies that operate outside of traditional systems. It can be pretty overwhelming to navigate, especially for newcomers.
Okay, that's where I get lost. It's
Yeah.
all a bit over my head, to be honest.
Right. Well, that's where those AI-powered crypto trading bots come in. Think of them as your automated trading assistants.
Oh, interesting.
They use AI to analyze market trends, make sense of those often crazy price fluctuations. They can help you make smarter trades, take some of the guesswork out of it.
So even if I don't understand all the technical ins and outs of blockchain and all that, I can still potentially benefit from the crypto boom.
That's the power of AI in this space. It's making these markets accessible to everyone. You don't need to be a tech whiz to participate.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I've heard these crazy stories about people making fortunes selling digital art as NFTs. Is that all they are, though? Just digital art?
Well, that's where they first gained attention, but their potential goes way beyond art. An NFT is basically a digital certificate of ownership for a unique digital item. It could be art, collectibles, music, even virtual real estate. And the market for these things is exploding.
The article mentioned the NFT market was worth over $40 billion last year. And it seems like every major brand is jumping on board now.
It's definitely gaining momentum.
Okay, I have to admit, though, I'm still a little fuzzy on how NFTs actually work. Can you break it down for me?
Sure. Imagine you create a piece of digital art. When you mint it as an NFT, you're basically creating a digital record of ownership that's permanently stored on a blockchain. This record proves that you, and only you, own that specific digital asset.
So it's like having a digital deed for a piece of digital property.
Exactly. And just like with physical property, you can buy, sell, trade your NFTs. And that verifiable ownership is what drives their value.
So hypothetically speaking, I could create like a funny meme, turn it into an NFT, and potentially make a bunch of money.
Well, stranger things have happened. There have been some pretty surprising NFT successes out there.
This is wild. And speaking of wild, let's talk about virtual real estate.
Yeah, right. Let's go there.
Owning property in a virtual world, I mean, that sounds straight out of science fiction.
It does sound futuristic, but it's becoming more and more real every day. Platforms like Decentraland, the Sandbox, they're building these immersive virtual worlds where you can buy, sell, develop virtual land. And we're seeing major brands setting up shop in these spaces.
Wait, so I could buy a plot of land in a virtual world and build like a virtual house on it or a business?
You could.
I'm struggling to grasp the point of that.
Think of it like prime real estate in the real world. As these virtual worlds become more popular, more integrated into our lives, the value of that land is likely to go up. You could lease it out, sell it for a profit, even create interactive experiences on it.
Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here, but for the average person, someone who's not a tech expert or a real estate mogul, how do they get involved in this? It seems a bit exclusive.
Honestly, the barriers to entry are lower than you might think. With a bit of research, the right tools, a willingness to learn, anyone can explore these opportunities.
So let's talk strategy then. What are some concrete steps someone can take to actually build wealth in this AI-driven digital economy? What's the roadmap?
That's a great question, and it's something we'll definitely dive into in our next segment. All right, so let's get down to brass tacks here. Let's figure out how to actually make some moves in this AI-driven digital economy. The Future of Wealth article, it lays out this 4-step plan. Seems like a good place to start, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Break it down for us. Step 1.
Step 1 is all about identifying and investing in those digital assets we were talking about. But before you go and dump your life savings into Dogecoin or whatever the latest meme coin is.
Yeah, gotta be careful there. Not all that glitters is gold, right?
Exactly. You've got to approach this strategically. Really research the assets that pique your interest. And most importantly, choose assets that align with your own financial goals and your risk tolerance.
So for a more cautious investor like myself, someone looking for steady long-term growth, maybe something like index funds that track the overall crypto market would be a smarter move than, say, gambling on some random altcoin.
That's a great example of a more conservative approach, yeah. If you're more comfortable with higher risk, higher potential reward, then maybe those individual altcoins or even those DeFi tokens are worth exploring. But you gotta understand the technology, the team behind the project, the risks. Do your homework.
And what about those AI-powered crypto trading bots? Could those be useful for someone just dipping their toes into the crypto waters?
Yeah, those bots can be helpful, especially if you're not quite confident in your own trading skills. They can analyze the market, make decisions based on massive amounts of data.
So it's like having a robot Warren Buffett working for you.
Haha, kind of. But remember, no investment is foolproof. Even with AI involved, there's always some level of risk.
Right, right. Can't get too cocky. So once we've navigated the sometimes choppy waters of digital asset investing, what's next on our AI-powered wealth-building journey?
Step 2 is all about tapping into the power of AI to automate those passive income streams we were gushing over.
Okay, now we're talking. Passive income is the dream, right? Earning money while you sleep, while you travel, while you're sipping margaritas on the beach.
Haha, exactly.
But how do we actually make that happen with AI? What does that look like in practice?
Well, think about all the tasks that suck up your time when you're running a business. Writing content, marketing, managing social media, fulfilling orders, customer support. The list goes on and on. AI can automate a huge chunk of that, freeing you up to focus on the big picture stuff.
So instead of me spending hours hunched over my laptop, wrestling with writer's block, trying to crank out a blog post, I can just hand it off to an AI and go, take a nap.
Pretty much. There are tools like Jasper, ChatGPT. They can write high-quality, engaging content for you based on your input. It's like having a whole team of virtual writers at your disposal.
And what about creating those visually appealing graphics and social media posts that everyone seems to be obsessed with these days? I'm not exactly a design whiz.
Well, that's where a tool like Canva comes in handy. It's super user-friendly, even for someone with zero design experience. And it has AI features that can help you create really stunning visuals.
Wow, so AI is not only writing our content, it's designing it too. This is getting interesting.
It is. And when it comes to actually selling products or services online, there are platforms like Shopify that make it incredibly easy to set up an online store, manage your inventory, process payments, all that stuff. And Shopify integrates seamlessly with a lot of those AI tools, so you can automate things like inventory management, marketing campaigns, even customer service interactions.
So AI is basically giving us the tools to build entire businesses that can practically run themselves.
Pretty much. It's about creating a system that works for you, not the other way around.
Okay, I'm officially on board with this whole passive income revolution. Sign me up. What's step 3? What's next on our AI-powered wealth-building roadmap?
Step 3 is all about YouTube, specifically launching and automating a YouTube channel. Remember, we talked about those AI video creation tools that can make videos without you ever being on camera.
Ah, yes. The path to becoming a faceless YouTube star. Tell me more.
Well, YouTube has a huge global audience, a proven revenue model, and it's a fantastic way to build a following around your content. And with AI, you can create high-quality videos in just about any niche, all without ever needing to step in front of a camera.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's break this down. First step.
First step is the most important. You got to choose the right niche for your channel. Find a topic you're passionate about, something you can create content about consistently, and something that has a decent audience size so you can actually get some views.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where passion meets profitability, right?
Yeah.
What are some examples of those profitable niches on YouTube? What are people actually watching?
Well, niches like finance, technology, gaming, how-to tutorials, those tend to do really well. Think about topics people are actively searching for, things they need help with or want to learn about.
Got it. So I've got my niche. I'm brimming with ideas.
Yeah.
How do I actually make those videos happen? I have zero video editing skills.
That's where those AI tools come in again. Tools like ChatGPT and Jasper can help you write those engaging scripts tailored to your audience and even optimized for YouTube's algorithm. And then you can use a tool like 11 Labs to create realistic voiceovers for your videos. You don't even need to use your own voice.
Mind blown.
And to bring it all together, you can use a video editing tool like Lumen 5, which can actually create visuals, animations, transitions, all that stuff automatically based on your script.
So I can create a polished, professional-looking YouTube video without any filming or editing experience whatsoever.
Pretty much. AI handles all the technical stuff. You just focus on the creative side, the story you want to tell, the value you want to provide to your audience.
Okay, this is amazing. But let's talk money. How do these videos actually generate income? Where does the revenue come from?
Well, YouTube has a pretty solid ad revenue model. You get a share of the revenue from the ads that are shown on your videos.
So more views, more money. Simple as that.
Generally speaking, yeah. But it also depends on your niche, audience engagement, ad rates. Some niches, like finance and tech, tend to have higher ad rates than others. But the key is to create great content that people actually want to watch, share, and subscribe to.
Makes sense. Okay, so choose a profitable niche, make awesome content, build a loyal audience, and watch the ad revenue roll in.
Got it.
As a final step in our AI-powered wealth-building master plan, how do we take this whole thing to the next level?
Step 4 is all about reinvesting your profits. As you start making money from your digital assets, your passive income businesses, your YouTube channel, you can reinvest that money to accelerate your growth even further. It's like a snowball effect.
Ah, the power of compounding. So resist the urge to splurge and instead plow those profits back into expanding my portfolio, optimizing my operations, make the money machine even more efficient.
Exactly. Reinvesting allows you to buy better tools, scale your businesses, maybe even hire some virtual assistants. It's about creating a system where your income streams work together to generate a sustainable, ever-growing flow of wealth.
This is incredible. It feels like we're on the cusp of this whole new era of wealth creation, where the traditional barriers to entry are crumbling and anyone with a laptop and an internet connection can build a thriving online business.
It's a pretty exciting time to be involved in this space, that's for sure.
It is. But I do have to ask, is it really that simple? Are there any downsides, any hidden risks we need to be aware of?
That's a great question, and it's definitely something we should talk about. Let's explore those considerations in our final segment.
So we've spent this whole deep dive exploring this kind of mind-blowing roadmap to wealth,
Yeah.
AI-driven digital economy, all that. It's pretty exciting stuff.
It is. It's definitely got people's attention.
But got to ask the tough questions,
Of
right?
course. Got to keep it real.
Is it really all sunshine and rainbows? Or are there some potential pitfalls?
Right. Well, no investment, no business venture is without risk. And the digital economy, while it's bursting with opportunity, it definitely has its own set of, I guess you could say, unique challenges.
Okay, so let's talk about those challenges. What are like the red flags? What should we be watching out for as we kind of dip our toes into these digital waters?
Well, I think one of the biggest things to remember is that this landscape is constantly shifting. What's cutting edge today might be, obsolete tomorrow.
So we can't just set it and forget it.
Exactly. Things move fast in the digital world. New technologies pop up, trends shift. What worked last week might not work this week.
So you got to be adaptable.
Absolutely. Flexibility is key. You've got to be willing to learn, to adapt, to pivot when you need to. Stay curious, stay informed, and never stop learning.
Makes sense. It's like any field, really. If you're not growing, you're falling behind.
Exactly. And speaking of learning, it's so crucial to do your research before you jump into anything. Don't just buy into the hype.
Yeah, that FOMO, that fear of missing out.
Yeah.
It can be dangerous.
It can. Don't let it cloud your judgment. Take the time to understand the fundamentals.
So research the technology, the team behind a project, the potential risks.
All of that. The regulatory landscape. It's all important. Don't just throw money at something because it sounds cool or because everyone else is doing it.
And I imagine scams are pretty rampant in this space, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. There are always people looking to take advantage of others, especially when there's the promise of quick riches involved.
So what's the best defense? How do you spot those red flags?
Well, first of all, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Trust your gut. If something feels off, walk away.
Common sense, right?
Exactly. And do your due diligence. Research the opportunity, read reviews, check for red flags. There is a lot of information out there. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Good advice. So research, due diligence, trust your instincts. Anything else we should keep in mind?
Yeah, diversification is key. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments across different asset classes, different platforms, different strategies. It helps mitigate risk and creates a more balanced portfolio.
Don't bet the farm on one meme coin, no matter how much you love that meme.
Exactly. And one more thing, don't neglect your financial foundation. Make sure you have a solid financial plan in place, an emergency fund, a good understanding of your own risk tolerance, all of that good stuff.
So sound financial planning is still important, even in this new digital world.
Absolutely. The tools and strategies might be changing, but those fundamental principles of responsible financial management, they still apply.
Okay, so even though there are some inherent risks involved, it sounds like the potential rewards of this AI-driven digital economy are pretty significant. Hard to ignore, really.
Yeah, I think so. We're witnessing this massive shift, this new economic paradigm emerging. And for those who are willing to embrace it, to learn, to adapt, well, there's a real opportunity here to create wealth, to achieve financial freedom in ways that just weren't possible before.
It's an exciting time to be alive, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think that the biggest takeaway for me is that this isn't just for the tech elite. This isn't just for Silicon Valley billionaires. AI is becoming more and more accessible to everyone.
Right, and that's what's so exciting about it. It's democratizing opportunity. It's giving individuals the tools they need to build businesses, to create income, to invest in innovative ways. It's a real shift in power.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is.
So for everyone listening, what excites you most about this whole new world of AI-driven wealth? What strategies are you thinking about exploring? We've only just scratched the surface here today, and there's so much more to discover.
That's the thing about the digital economy. It's constantly evolving. So stay curious, stay informed, and never stop learning.
Well said. And remember, the future of wealth is being written right now, and it's up to all of us to decide how we want to participate. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.